Hello everyone, hope you're having the most amazing day today. Welcome to the Film Insight channel. For today's video, we're going to discuss even more bars featured on Bar Rescue and reveal how they're doing now. So, sit back, relax, and without further ado, let's get right into the content, guys. Armadillo Grill. In one Season 7 episode, Jon Taffer and the Bar Rescue team head over to Phoenix, Arizona to bring the Armadillo Grill back on its feet. Owned by Brenda Lambrecht, she decided to open up the bar back in 1997 using her experience in the restaurant industry to influence her decision. Working first as a hostess, she fell in love with the business and always wanted to open one of her own, however, it didn't exactly go as planned. Having borrowed money from her father to fulfill her dream, she struggled with the transition of being a staff member to an owner. Even her employees recognized this struggle, expressing that she lacks the necessary management and leadership skills to run an establishment. Losing a staggering $20,000 a month, Lambrecht is in a deep pool of debt of over $450,000 and it's only growing. Later on in the episode, Taffer gathers together with Lambrecht's relatives and is revealed some really shocking information. According to ex-husband Greg, she didn't make any money for the first 10 years that they were together. This was one of the biggest reasons why they got divorced, and he predicts her father put in close to $500,000 to keep the bar open. Another relative named Asia points out the fact that when she opened the restaurant, she didn't know how to create a concept menu and gave away her profits to fund her mother's rent. Wanting to get a customer's perspective of the bar, Taffer sends in two of his finest assistants for recon, Chef Ryan Scott and mixologist Mia Mastroianni. Upon entering the bar, their noses are immediately assaulted with the smell of grease, and the drinks they order are absolutely terrible. Watching through CCTV cameras, Taffer expresses that their glassware is way too big, which forces them to use more alcohol to get the correct mix, which is one of the reasons why they're losing so much money. On top of horrible drinks, the spies ordered onion rings, fried mozzarella, and sweet potatoes, hoping to at least satisfy their hunger. As the bar's cook Victor starts cooking their order, Taffer notices that the kitchen's walls are filthy and caked in grease. To make matters worse, Victor has little care about contaminating the food, handling the chicken with gloves, then touching the fryer and other surfaces. Appalled by what he was seeing, Taffer heads into the bar and tells Lambrecht that he wants the kitchen cleaned. Calling the staff together for a meeting, one employee named Diane reveals that when the food is sent back, the owner doesn't even go back into the kitchen to fix it. Taffer gets progressively angry throughout the interaction, especially considering that they had a grease fire about a week ago before he arrived and they still had grease on their walls. After a terrible stress test, Taffer's experts attempt to teach the staff how to properly pour and mix drinks, as well as how to make easy but delicious dishes. First renovating the kitchen, Taffer also changed the name to Brenda's Inferno, giving the bar an Inferno theme. Additionally, they received new tables, a pool table, a fire machine, 4 POS systems, and improved uniforms. When they finally relaunched, the customers were absolutely in love with the foods and drinks, and the family was impressed with the changes made. Only 3 days after the relaunch, Brenda's Inferno was forced to close down temporarily due to state restrictions. However, several weeks after Taffer left, Brenda finally began to repay her father for the immense amount of money he invested thanks to the bar's success. It seems like the reviews are incredibly positive, especially when it comes to food, drinks, and service. What a great rescue. Pineapple Hill Saloon and Grill. For another Season 7 episode, Jon Taffer and his team visit Pineapple Hill Saloon and Grill in Tustin, California, hoping to save it from closure. Being a multi-generational bar, it was purchased by a woman named Reva Renz for $580,000. While business was booming in the beginning, Renz was forced to step back for health reasons, which was the moment things started to go downhill. The bar's manager, Linda, hasn't been able to keep up with the demands of running a business, and as a result, the quality has gone down significantly. Swimming in a pool of debt of over $400,000, this desperately called for the guidance of a professional. Answering this call, Taffer arrives at the bar with mixologist Mia Mastroianni and chef Jason Santos. Not impressed with what he was seeing on the exterior, Taffer doesn't seem to like the humongous pineapple on the bar sign. On the inside, there's way too much wood, terribly worn out furniture held together with duct tape, and odd-looking pineapple decor. Watching as usual through CCTV cameras, Taffer notices that the bar's chef Mike doesn't use gloves and carelessly cross-contaminates the kitchen. On top of this, the bartenders are incompetent and don't mix drinks properly, which makes things very inconsistent. Wanting to get a look into the service quality, the Bar Rescue host sends in 2 people for recon who order an Irish coffee and a pineapple margarita. Predictably so, the Irish coffee tasted like water and the margarita was way too light on the tequila, which left the spies feeling disappointed to say the very least. One of them orders some ribs, and when Chef Mike begins to prepare it, he ignores the fact that the meat had mold on it and cooks it anyway. Right before the ribs were served to the spy, Chef Santos steps in and stops him, then finds more moldy ribs in the kitchen. Having seen more than enough, Taffer angrily rushes into the bar and raises his voice at Mike, who denies that he forgot to wash his hands while cooking. Taking the GM and Renz outside, Taffer explains that their chef is a massive liability since someone could die from the health codes he's violating. Promising to take action after this tough conversation, both decide on firing Mike, which was long overdue. Later on, the experts attempt to assess the staff members' skill levels and conclude that there's a lot of stuff to work on. For one, the bartenders all had their own way of doing things, using different techniques or glassware at times, but the thing that they had in common was that all their drinks tasted bad. In the kitchen, it was clear that they didn't know how to properly make things, so Chef Santos taught them the basics. After a ton of training, Taffer was finally able to start working his magic, beginning with renaming the place to Ren's Social House. Given 4 new POS systems, the bar's overall decor was improved and was made to look more stylish, removing any of the duct tape. Upon the bar's relaunch, the patrons who were invited seemed to really enjoy the food and drinks being served, and Ren's finally seemed to be more confident as an owner. Following Taffer's renovations, it seems like the GM Linda has taken control of the books as well as the bar. This is only due to the fact that Ren's is a full-time mom, and Linda, alongside the staff, wanted to support her. Even though the bar is still very much open, it's been heavily restricted from running due to the recent outbreaks. Assuming you like this bar, you can donate some money to keep them alive on their GoFundMe page. Silver Dollar. This time around, John Taffer heads over to the failing Silver Dollar located in Chula Vista, California. Owned by Mike DeGarden Jr. and Mike DeGarden Sr., the bar has been around for over 90 years. Always dreaming of running a bar of his own, Mike Jr. managed to get the funding he needed from his father, who was supposed to be his silent partner. In the beginning anyway, Silver Dollar did exceptionally well, but it quickly fell apart when the father and son team began to clash. Due to the constant fighting, it not only affected their relationship, but also the staff, the business, as well as Mike Jr.'s marriage. Desperately needing some help before things were completely destroyed, the owners call out to John Taffer for some aid. Arriving at the bar with mixologist Derek Turner, they take a close look at the exterior and are completely unimpressed. Not only does the bar look dated and is falling apart, it also looks like a dive bar, which isn't really inviting. Sending in 2 expert mixologists as recon, Taffer asked them to test the bartenders on their cocktail making skills. Ordering a Tom Collins, the mixologists aren't satisfied with their drinks since they're way too sweet. On top of this, Mike Sr. seems to be conspicuously drinking and appears to even be drunk, which is when Taffer and Norma decided to step in. Meeting with the 2 owners, Taffer has revealed that Mike Jr. no longer lives in the same house as his wife, which his father didn't even know about. It became clear after this revelation that the business pair didn't have the most solid communication. Later meeting with the staff, Taffer's told that the tensions are extremely obvious to customers, often making them uncomfortable and making them not want to return. Before getting into any of the renovations, Taffer feels that it's absolutely necessary that the father and son have a meaningful conversation. Squashing the drama between them by apologizing to one another, the famous rescuer was finally able to start doing his thing. While the bar did maintain its name for historic reasons, Taffer changed the wallpaper and gave the interior a cleaner look. Following the bar rescue team's renovations, Silver Dollar seems to be doing very well since they've made as much money in 1 month as they did in 1 year. Reviews on Yelp and TripAdvisor seem to be very positive, with most people praising the music, bartenders, as well as the drinks and food. Well, that'll be all for today's video here on the channel. I do hope you enjoyed, and if you did, be sure to drop a massive like down below and comment your thoughts. Subscribe for more content like this and turn on those sweet bell notifications for instant access to our content. Have a good one, guys.